Arlington County, everyone. Hello again. I'm Afshin Banab along with Chris Williams. And it is that county showdown between the Yorktown Patriots and the Washington Lee Generals. Yorktown, they won the toss, but they deferred, so they will kick off tonight. And Chris, let's start off talking about the three Arlington teams. They've all made the playoffs. This is really for bragging rights tonight. This is an old classic showdown between Shapiro and Hanson, Washington Lee, and Yorktown.
This is one of those good old-fashioned slop and argue through all the cliches that this record doesn't mean anything. It's Godzilla versus the immovable object tonight. It's bragging rights. It's when you walk into McDonald's tomorrow, you're a winner.
There you go. And Yorktown, as I said, will kick off. Beautiful night, cold, crisp, early November, Friday night here. And Mehran Roshanay will kick off to Washington Lee. These two teams are both 6-3 out of Conference 13. And this is always that classic last game we like to broadcast here on Arlington Independent Media. Here we go. And as usual, he gets it right into the end zone, and they'll have to take it at the 20-yard line.
You know, he's such a weapon for the Patriots, Mehran, that almost every team is going to start on the 20-yard line. It's very rare for him not to kick it into the end zone. And so each team knows, the opponent has to know that they're going to go 80 yards every drive that they kick off.
And that's good for the defense, too, Yorktown's defense, when they come out knowing we've got these guys pinned back so far, so early. You know, we'll see what the Generals do here.
Opening drive, let's see if the Generals can come out and set the tone for the evening.
Ronnie Fexo.
The Generals offense or the Patriots defense.
There's a penalty marker already down before the snap. So Fexo threw 2 touchdowns last week. And he is, of course, under center for Washington Lee. The penalty goes against the Generals. Legal procedure. And let's talk about the quarterback situation for Yorktown real quick.
Well, starting off tonight, it's going to be Charlie Teen's going to be the quarterback for the Patriots. Joe McBride, the regular season quarterback, he's thrown for 1,200 yards this year. Will be on the sidelines, not dressed out tonight. He was out with the captains, but he has a knee injury, which is going to keep him out of tonight's game. All
right, Espinoza now in the backfield for Washington Lee, and that was a bad snap. Espinoza does pick it up. He is, of course, in for Duquay Harris. Espinoza gets stuffed really quickly. And there's about a 5 or 6 yard loss there. And not a good way to start to set that tone.
Right, but it's one of those things that at the beginning of this game, it's senior night. It's senior night. These two schools are 2.5 miles apart from each other. There's a lot going on tonight.
There is.
And what's going to happen, the first team who's able to settle their nerves is going to, we'll have the gains. We'll get some gains here early, but you have to settle the nerves and just calm down a little bit.
Duquay Harris now in the backfield for Washington Lee. There is Fexo, incomplete pass. That was intended for Will Kelsch. Nothing here but bragging rights, but the playoff atmosphere runs abound.
Oh, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just walk into the stadium and you can just, you can cut the two tensions, to cut the tensions with a knife. I taught both coaches last night. There's a lot riding on tonight. I mean, I can't, I played in this game when I was a student at Yorktown. I mean, this means a lot to both schools.
All right, 3rd down, 21 now, Fexo. This time with a handoff to Harris on the far side. He doesn't pick up much. Well short of the 1st down. And they'll have to punt after their first possession.
And that's the benefit of having a kid like kicker like Mehran Roshanay. He pins him back down to the 20. If you stop him for a loss here or there, okay, now they're kicking from inside their 10-yard line.
Yes. Parker Dean now, the single safety for Yorktown. He is in Washington Lee territory. Stephen Dew set to punt. And you did talk to both coaches before this game. You talked to them a couple of days ago. We'll get into the conversation you had with these guys and Coach Hanson, Coach Shapiro.
But we just saw an encouragement penalty with the Patriots jumping a little bit early. You can't have that happen.
No.
You got them backed up into the kicker punting out of their own end zone. Bad snap, and they're telling you what could happen.
All right, due now with the punt. Parker Dean picks it up at the Washington Lee 45, gets to the 40, tries to cut it back. Good 7-8-yard return.
And the best thing that could happen to the Yorktown offense tonight without their starting quarterback, without their leader, is field position. And just off of the opening kick in the first drive, they're on the positive side of the 50-yard line. Great field position in Washington Lee territory.
All right.
They're almost in field goal position.
They are. So in for McBride is number 2, Charlie Teen. He is the 6'1", 180-pound senior wide receiver, stepping in for Joe McBride tonight.
And keep in mind, Teen was a quarterback when he played on the freshman.
All right, out of the I formation now, Teen. There is the handoff to Stores. He crosses the 35, picks up a few on that one. And I have a feeling we will see a lot of Jack Stores tonight.
We're going to see a lot of Jack Stores, and just from this opening play right here, we saw Yorktown and their old formation running the old wing T. With McBride in at quarterback, they like to run a little flex offense, and they're going to pitch the ball all around the field all night. But now you look, it's the old school wing T look for the Patriots.
All right, here it is now. There is the handoff once again. Jack Stores again, the ball carrier, crosses the 30-yard line. It's Morris and Maldonado on the stop, so it's 3rd down.
And for Yorktown to be successful, this is what they're going to have to do, because not only it's kind of safe with Stores doesn't put the ball on the ground, but the other thing also is that it's going to chew up some clock and take the ball out of the Washington Lee offense.
3rd down, they need 2 for a first. There's Stores on the far side, tries to cut it. So it'll be close.
I think this is going to be one of those left foot, right foot spots.
Yeah, Stephen Dew brought him down at the last second. So 4th and short, Chris. 8:45 to go here in the first quarter.
I think you got to go for it. Both teams are already in the playoffs.
They are.
You're playing for bragging rights, and you've already set the tone on defense. So now you need to get a little bit more momentum here. And if you're able to pick up this first down, that'll mean a lot for the Patriots.
All right, big play early on here, 4th down. He'll keep it himself, will Charlie Teen, and he's got the first down.
Good job on Teen that time for a kid who's hasn't been under center for a while. He picked his spot on that quarterback sneak. And a lot of times you see a quarterback just bury his head in the back of the center and just kind of, feel his way and hope and keep his feet moving and try to get the first down. That time, Teen kind of let the offensive line get the push, and then he looked to figure out where was the best place for me to go, and got behind his guard and got the first down.
He did hesitate for a second before he made his move. He was looking.
Better move by Teen there.
All right, first down now. Stores again. Coming up on 8 minutes here in the first quarter.
And talking to Coach Shapiro last night, that was one of his keys to the game, is that they had to stop Jack Stores. They had to control Stores running the football. And one of the things that happened there is you can see that Teen, he's not truly comfortable being on the center, because if you watch on every play, he's a little slow getting away from the center. So he's making sure he gets the ball, and that's something we might need to watch for during the rest of this game.
That could just be nerves at the beginning, right?
Exactly.
So we'll see. That's a good point. We'll see what happens later on. Teen, he's going to roll out. He throws it. He completes it. And this is going to be a Yorktown touchdown. I believe that's Sean Coleman. Coleman caught a touchdown pass, or had a touchdown last week against Mount Vernon.
Great way to start out this game for the Patriots. I mean, Teen throws his first pass at quarterback, and it's a touchdown.
And it's to Coleman. Coleman was one of 4 touchdown passes from McBride last week, and here he is again on the first Yorktown possession. Catches a Charlie Teen touchdown pass.
And here we see Miran coming in for the extra point, but Teen has been used to throw a halfback pass or a wide receiver screen from time to time throughout the year. But that was a great play by Teen there.
It was.
Catch and run by Coleman. Receiver gets a block downfield.
Good rollout by Teen. Yep, he found his receiver, and his receiver did the rest, as it is now 7-0. Yorktown on top with 7:19 to go in the first quarter.
And if anything, what that drive does right there, I've seen, it gives those kids in the white jerseys a little bit more confidence. all right, we don't have a leader out here. We don't have a quarterback.
Right.
But, hey, we just moved the ball down the field. So that's going to give them a little more confidence to trust Teen now under center and trust Teen and his instincts and what he's going to do for him.
All right, Yorktown now set to kick off for the second time tonight. I guess for Charlie Teen, no, it looks, I mean, the way he ran that first possession, Chris, it was like riding a bike after not riding it for so long. You get back on an old bike, and he did what he had to do.
I'm very impressed. You have to remember, Charlie Teen didn't play football last year. He played golf for the Patriots. So went back to football this year, and I mean, he just looks good all year.
This one's going back in the end zone again. And that's what you get from Mehran Roshane. You're going to get those long kicks where you pin your opponent in their own territory, and they'll have to start at the 20-yard line with the Washington Lee Generals and Fexo and company.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a late flag on this play, Abshin, so it's going to be curious to see. This could be one of those dead ball unsportsmanlike calls. It's a personal foul on against the Generals.
Yep.
So it looks like the Generals will be starting from the 10-yard line.
Half the distance to the goal, right? So, but there is the head official for tonight.
And since it was a dead ball penalty, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Generals from the 10-yard line.
Okay, Fexo now. He's out of the gun. There is the handoff, and that is DeQuay Harris.
And Harris is one of the keys that Coach Hansen said that for the Patriots, they need to stop Harris.
Right.
They need to kind of control him. I mean, you got two good running backs. I mean, the last two games that you and I have done together, actually, we've had two really good running backs.
Yes, we have.
You know, the kid down at Wakefield, and then the two kids here tonight. So, I mean, the running backs are the key to this game. But for the Generals, they also have a quarterback who's put up 1,800 yards this season as well.
Yeah, oh yeah. Fexo, of course, had a big game last week. He threw for 300 yards and 2 touchdown passes in that big victory against Wakefield.
One of the things you can see with Fexo already, the defense has jumped off sides just now. And it's a great tool that he's able to use. He's using the aggression of the Yorktown defense against him. So if they get a couple encroachment penalties, eventually they're going to lay back a little bit, and that's when the offense is really going to be able to push them around. All
right, 2nd down, 18 now. Fexo with the give on the end around, and that is DeQuay Harris. Gets around 20, 21-yard line.
It looks like we had some extracurriculars at the end of that play. It looks like they picked up the first down. So if anything happens, it looks like it's going to be a dead ball penalty. So
another one.
They would get the first down, and then the penalty will be marched off after that, if it's against the Generals or if it's against the Patriots.
And I believe this would be the 3rd dead ball penalty.
Right. That was a personal foul this time against the Patriots. And it's a rivalry game. So these are the kind of things that you expect to happen early in the game. But then once the two teams get into the flow of the game, hopefully this is the kind of stuff we won't see.
Just some hellos and how are yous going on in that little.
Right, exactly. You know, remember these guys grew up. Together. Going to elementary school, middle school together. So
some of them
just exchanging a few pleasantries.
Yeah, just a few. All right, Harris now. Picks up 1, maybe 2. I was just thinking about what you were saying a minute or two ago about the running backs that we've seen. Both these schools have had some great running backs. I remember Maximilian Engine number 9, right?
Yep.
Robbie Shivers. You know, Washington Lee, Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor became the all-time rushing leader at Ashland College, by the way. You know, some great running backs in Arlington County. There's a handoff to DeQuay Harris again, gets up near the 40-yard line. But some really good running backs that we've been honored to, you know Mike Geeter from going way back at Yorktown. So it's been fortunate to be able to see all these running backs.
You know, and at Yorktown, I can take you back even further to guys like Jimmy Brown, Raymond Scales, Andre Yates.
Okay, yeah.
You know, guys like that who, you know, we used to joke when Yorktown was in the wing T how it was running back you. I mean, because every other year, coach was able to find another running back, kind of like the Shanahans.
Kind of like the Shanahans, that's right. There's the fake to Harris. This time the pitch on the slant. That one's complete. Off to the races. I believe that is Ronnie Fexo's pass was completed to number 83 there. Casey, good catch and run.
Great catch by Casey. Caught it. The defender was there. He caught the football. Kept the concentration as we see right here. He catches the ball, bounces off to the defender. The defender doesn't wrap up, and he's off to the races. And then he does a great job at the end protecting the football. Great concentration by Casey there.
Ball at the Yorktown 32-yard line. Harris tries to cut it back. He does, crosses the 30. Still on his feet to the outside, 25. 20-yard line before he's finally taken down. We'll see where they officially mark the ball.
And one of the things you can see is that personal foul penalty that the Patriots had kind of sparked this offense a little bit.
Yeah.
It looks like the offense was kind of struggling, trying to figure out what they were going to do. And right off of that personal foul penalty, boom, 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 now they're inside the red zone.
Ball at the 19-yard line. Hand off again to DeQuay Harris. This time they read that one and stuffed him. Picked up maybe a yard or two. Probably 2. I'm sorry, that was Seneca Espinoza.
And leading tacklers that time for the Patriots was Quinn Cox. Quinn Cox has been the anchor of this defense for the whole season.
Yeah.
He's just a menacing defensive player. Very disruptive.
Moving along the line, and of course, looks like Fexo got him to draw. He drew them. So it is a 5-yard penalty.
That's a 5-yard penalty, and that's the third encroachment penalty the Patriots have had tonight. They had one on a punt, and then they've had 2 on this drive right here.
Couple of big penalties right now here in the early going. 3:40 now. Yorktown on top. Washington Lee threatening. There's the fake. Fexo goes up top. That one's incomplete.
And one of the things I've seen Fletcher do every time that he's handed the ball off, he's done a play action fake a play action pass off of it. Every play, no matter what kind of handoff it is, he's coming up and act like he's throwing the ball off of it. And what that does, that sets up plays just like this one right here.
Yeah.
So you're going to lull the defensive backs to sleep with hand the ball off, hand off, hand off, hand off. And then you're going to pull it out on that read option and boom. Guy's wide open for a touchdown.
Let's go, offense!
Blade Alu was there, but he was covered well on that one. Here is Fexo. Faking to Espinoza. This time he goes to the corner to the far side, pardon me. And that one falls incomplete.
And that was the same play that they just ran. So they definitely saw something there.
Yeah.
I mean, the receiver was open the first time, just the pass was a little off. And that time, I think the pass was there. You got to come up with that one.
All right. So Washington Lee and Josh Shapiro are going to go for a field goal here. Henry Casey.
And if I'm on that Yorktown defense, I'm watching the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't move until that ball is snapped, because you can quite easily give up a first down here.
29-yard field goal attempt now here for Casey. Snap good, hold, kick. Certainly long enough, but it is good. So put a 3 spot up on the board for Washington Lee.
And that's a good answer by the Generals. They were able to move the ball all the way down into the red zone. Didn't get a touchdown out of it, but they got 3 points. So they able to answer the opening drive for the Patriots. And in a game like this, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to come back and have an answer for what the other team does.
Exactly. Exactly. I know you've talked to Coach Shapiro over the recent days. What have you got out of him? What kind of coach do you think he is? To me, when I look at him just from the booth, I think he is a great motivator. That's what I think of first and foremost.
Without a doubt. And that's one of the things that we talked about last night. And it's fun to talk to Josh, you know, because you see it in his eyes, and you just see it when he talks to you, that the passion. And one of the things that he talked about, because I asked him, you know, there have been a lot of coaches at Washington Lee before you, and they haven't had the success that you've had. And one of the things that he said, he goes, well, you know, I try to motivate these kids. We put a program in place, and we've gotten the kids to buy in. He's putting good coaches around them. And, you know, now we're seeing the fruits of the labor.
Oh, he's definitely he put good coaches around him. He's changed the culture here as we see this kickoff. And there is a flag on the play. Parker Dean gets up to about the 25-yard line, but, you know, he's modest, Coach Shapiro is. I've spoken to him a few times myself, and I think he's done a wonderful job. I mean, here is 2 consecutive winning seasons for Washington Lee. That hasn't happened in a long time. You know, that's some high schools, that's like a given. But W&L hasn't had that for in quite a while, and he was able to bring that back even. So, done a great job at W&L.
Oh, he's done a tremendous job, and it's just like we talked a couple weeks ago about Wayne Hogwood down at Wakefield. Well, we're seeing the beginning of what Josh has already done here at Washington Lee.
Right.
And it's one of those things that when you talk to Josh and you talk to Coach Hogwood down at Wakefield, they both look at Bruce as, I want to be like him.
Right.
You know, this is a guy I look up to. He's been at Yorktown for 30 years. Look at what he's done over there.
Not a bad man to look up to, right?
Not at all.
From the 16, Yorktown.
Yeah.
Charlie Teen now with the handoff.
And this, you know, and the Patriots are starting this drive backed up. So this is going to be a tough test for a kid who hasn't been under center for 3 years.
That is a long time.
You know, so it's going to be a tough test for the Yorktown offense now to see if they can move the ball, you know, a long way down the field to get to the end zone.
2-yard pickup there. Teen out of the gun. He's got receivers all over. He's going to roll to his right. Looks across. This one is complete on the far side. Good catch. Nice run after the catch.
And one of the things that we've seen from the 2 passes the team's thrown tonight, Bruce isn't putting them in a situation where he's dropping straight back to try to find an open receiver. He's going to roll to one side or the other. And that's going to help him keep, you know, as they roll that pocket, it helps them buy a little bit more time, but also going to give the offense, the wide receivers, a little more time to get open.
Speaking of receivers, 3 to the near side on this one. There is the handoff. And I believe that is Ben Calvert. Or is that Calvert? Yeah, he gets up to about the 36, 37-yard line.
And one of the things that Bruce is doing here, it looks like the first drive, they were all in the wing team formation.
Yeah.
Now in this drive right here, they're going to their modern-day spread look. And we've seen a rollout pass from it, and we've seen a run out.
Let's go, dude!
I think he's trying to show to the W&L defense, hey, we're going to keep you guessing tonight.
Yeah.
I got a rookie quarterback here, but look what I can do with it.
All right, 3 to the near side again.
Yeah.
And Washington Lee, that defense just said, okay, this is what we can do too, and they got Teen on that one, Chris.
Got Teen on that
Good
one,
pressure.
and you saw the indecision by a quarterback, by a kid who doesn't play quarterback all the time.
Well, the best thing out of that was he didn't try to throw the ball.
Right, exactly.
And he held on to it when he knew he was being sacked.
Take your lumps,
Yeah.
and let's go to the next play. Live another day.
Defense!
There it
Defense!
is again.
Defense!
Yeah, the Generals were all over on that. A big loss there. So this is third down 16 ball. At about the 28-yard line.
Defense! 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 Defense!
Dean stays in the pocket. He goes up top. He's got Parker Dean. 40, 35. Dean finally being brought down inside the 30-yard line. Good catch by Dean. He was not going to be denied, Chris.
That was a great pitch and catch.
Yeah.
That time we saw Dean take a 3-step drop out of the shotgun, and when he planted his foot on that 3rd step, ball was out of his hand.
Mark at the 29-yard line.
Kind of led Parker Dean a little bit.
Did.
Dean ran under the football, ran by the defender. Great play for the Patriots.
Ball at the W. Now there's a ball loose on the ground. Looks like Yorktown recovered it.
And that's what I've been talking about. He's a little slow from getting out from under the center, and that time we had a pulling guard, and the guard runs into the quarterback. And when that happens, when you're the quarterback, it's not good. Trust me.
They're going to walk it to the other side. It's the end of the first quarter, 7-3. Yorktown on top here from War Memorial Stadium under the Friday night lights. Afshin Banab and Chris Williams, Arlington Independent Media, Comcast 69, Fios 38, your high school game of the week, your county matchup, your great rivalry here in Arlington County between Yorktown and Washington Lee. He's Chris, I'm Afshin, and this is War Memorial Stadium. And it's
the
always
venerable
good to have you.
War Memorial Stadium.
The venerable, yes.
You know, I must say, with the 3 high schools in Arlington, great venues.
Yeah, all 3 are done. They've all been completed, renovated.
Great venues to showcase a football game.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the backdrop of the school here at the end of the football field. I mean, it's just, you know, great place to showcase. All 3 stadiums are incredible.
There they are. Couldn't agree more. Oh, yeah, we've got a full moon tonight, Mr. Williams.
I think we're just past full. I think the full moon was full? 2 nights ago.
Okay. Looks full to me.
So we're just past full. But it seems like there's always a full moon whenever you and I.
What are you, Neil deGrasse Tyson, man? All right, Yorktown with the ball after that recovered fumble. And Jack Storrs, he pretty much got stuffed right as he got to that 30-yard line.
It looks like he picked up 1. But just nothing doing on that play.
No. So this will be 3rd down and long now for the Patriots.
And these are situations with a quarterback, with an inexperienced quarterback, you don't want to be in.
Well, let's see what Charlie team does.
You don't want to be in these kind of situations consistently tonight.
Oh, he tripped up. And he fell at about the 36-yard line, so there was a 6-yard loss. And this will be 4th and, we'll call it 4th and 17. Chris, that wasn't a good.
Not at all, but
No.
that's that's the inexperience.
Yeah.
That's the inexperience and these are the things that, we have to come to expect tonight from team.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think it's not the kid's fault, but he has to spend a lot of time on the center.
I certainly think Coach Hansen made the right call by sitting McBride down, letting him rest, getting him ready for the playoffs.
I'm not sure if he even was a Coach Hansen decision. It might have been a doctor's decision.
That's true, too. Well, this one will push Yorktown back further as there is a delay of game on the offense. That was before the snap on this punt.
And I think that might have been done on purpose to give an extra 5 yards to give Mayron Hirshani just a few more yards on the punt.
Well, Mayron might be thinking, oh, yeah, go ahead, I'll take another 5.
Right.
It doesn't matter where I'm punting from.
Key here is try to pin the Generals inside their own 10-yard line.
And that's where Quinn Parks is standing right now at his 10-yard line. High snap to Roshane. And he's going to kick it over to the left side, and this one will roll and keep rolling. This will be a nice little punt. for Yorktown. He got a nice roll there, Chris.
He got a great roll. I'm not sure if that one might have been tipped a little bit by the defense. I think the defense got a little hands on it. It was a high snap. And it looks like the defense may have got a little piece of it. Guys are kind of celebrating like they got some of it.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's an effective punt for the Patriots. They got the Generals now inside their own 9-yard line.
This will be 1st and 10 from the 9. Blvd, the receiver on the near side. DeQuay Harris crosses the 15-yard line.
Way to run, Quay, way to run!
7-yard pickup for DeQuay Harris there.
Good pickup by Harris, and the Generals are backed up in the shadow of their own defense. I mean, in the shadow of their own goalposts. And for you to get 6 yards on 1st down, that takes a lot of pressure off.
Yeah.
Now you get 2 more downs to get 2 yards.
Fexo looking, gives it up to Harris again. He gets right around the 20-yard line. That'll be enough for a 1st down. .9:44 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Perdomo a bit shaken up now for Washington Lee, so we'll take a quick, maybe a stop on the clock.
But we saw 2 good plays by the offense there. Move the ball out to the 20-yard line. Now it's a little bit more manageable. Now you don't have that fear of bad snap as a touchdown.
Right.
You know, fumble is a touchdown. Now you got a little bit more room, and this opens up your offense a lot more. Once you're inside your own 20-yard line, you're backed up inside your own 10. Not a lot of plays you want to run back
no.
there.
You don't feel
you
safe.
want to do just like Washington Lee did. Harris is my best running back. I'm going to hand him the football. And we're going to slam into the line of scrimmage 2 times, and he's going to get me a 1st down.
And that's what he just did. All right, the Generals now. Fexo staying in the pocket. Blvd intended, the pass intended for him, and that was incomplete.
And one of the things that we've seen so far tonight, we haven't seen Fexo drop back to pass the ball. All the passes so far have been play-action passes. And when you're running the ball as well as they can run the football, Washington Lee, and then, of course, you're going to run some play-action passes. You're going to be more effective in the play-action game than you would be dropping back and throwing the football.
This will be 2nd down 10, ball at the 20, 9:35 to go. Fexo again looking up. He's got a receiver, and that one was complete. Let's see, and it is good. Henry Casey, and a nice catch over the shoulder.
Great pitch and catch.
It was.
Perfect pass. He put that ball where no one can catch it but Casey. And Casey had the wherewithal to check and make sure he got the 2 feet in bounds before he went out of bounds.
20-yard pickup on that one. Ball at the 40-yard line. Remember, the Generals started at their own 9, so they've picked up 31 yards now. Harris takes it on the outside, crosses, gets into the edge.
Way to run, Quay, way to run! Way to run, Quay!
He picks up about 8, but there is a penalty marker.
And he did a good job that time, too, being patient, letting his blockers set up the hole for him. Unfortunately, it's going to come back because of offensive holding.
The dreaded holding.
9 times out of 10, when you see a flag down at the line of scrimmage on a running play or a holding play, once a play starts, you know it's going to be holding.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see our fans there. Some of them are real cold. It's a cold night.
It's a bit chilly
November
so far.
night.
You know,
what's that?
Temperature definitely dropped
yes.
from, say, even earlier this week when we were in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. We had a couple good days in the 70s. Oh, what's going on? All right, ball back to the 29-yard line now. Fexo with the pass. And was this one intercepted?
Intercepted.
Looks like it was. Yep. Perez Coleman, the running back.
And that was the first time that the Yorktown defense was able to put a little pressure on Fexo.
Yeah, they were. That's right. There was Fexo. I think he went down after that throw too. So they definitely hurt him.
First time they were able to pull a little bit of pressure on him. Saw the pass, hurried a little bit, and first mistake that we've seen tonight from him. Other than that, he's been playing superb.
He's been playing well. He had a great game against Wakefield last week. Charlie Teen now back under center for Yorktown as they try now up 7-3 to extend their lead with 8:50 to go here in the second quarter.
One of the things that we both talked about Stores. You know, he's a great runner in between the tackles.
He sure
But
is.
then the last time we seen him, he was able to bounce it out as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of the guys that we haven't seen touch the football tonight is Tavon Brown, which is the other running back for the Patriots.
There is a pitch out to Stores. He bobbled it, but he was able to regain control. He got to the 30-yard line. That's right. Tavon Brown has not been mentioned tonight.
He did break up a pass on defense.
He did.
But offensively, we haven't seen him tonight.
All right, 3rd and 6 inside 8 minutes to go at the 30.
And one of the things that we've seen so far tonight, to get to play, teams running over to the numbers to get to play from Coach Hansen.
The fake to Stores. Charlie Teen now looking. Throws it. He's got a man downfield. Incomplete. Gene Jones on the stop for Washington Lee.
Great defensive play by Jones. He was beat.
He was beat.
He was beat. Teen took had a little pressure, had to take a little bit longer to get the pass off.
And a little too much air under it.
Yeah, but I think Jones was surprised because I don't think he knew the receiver was behind him.
Gene Jones on a good stop there, though. But big field goal here. Rochene now. 47-yard attempt for Mehran Rochene. Snap good, hold good, kick. This is going to be close, but a
little
bit
short.
Talking about getting air under the ball. He didn't get as much as we've seen in the past.
No, not at all. That was kind of looked like he rushed that one a little bit. But you also got to remember, it's a cold night.
It's a cold night.
These kids haven't played in temperatures this cold.
Right.
That football is a little bit different on a night like tonight than it has been all year.
Yeah.
When the weather gets cold, that leather football gets hard.
It does.
And when
the further away that you're back.
And when you're out there kicking that hard ball.
From 45, 46, 47 yards
exactly.
out. All right, Fexo. So no harm, no foul on that Yorktown turnover. Here's the handoff to DeQuay Harris. Crosses the 35-yard line. Pick up a 16 for Harris.
Great run by Harris again. He just does a great job of setting up his blocks, and then when the hole opens up, he goes. There's no hesitation.
Nope.
And it just seems like there's just no wasted movement with him. A lot of running backs you see, they're stutter stepping, they're shifting, they're doing this, they're doing that. He's just a north-south runner.
He knows what to do. All right, Espinoza now. He gets into the next level, crosses midfield. To the Yorktown 49.
We see the run right here. That's the play before with Harris.
That's the Harris play, yes. It's a good one to show again. That was a good run.
And we just heard Tavon Brown's name called again.
There's Espinoza.
There's Espinoza. Huge hole. I mean, no one was there to touch him for the 16 yards, basically. Afshin, I think that was a hole that you and I could have gone through.
There's DeQuay Harris. He couldn't find a hole there. And Yorktown stopped that one pretty much. Left him high and dry.
That was a good job by the defense that time. They snuffed that one out pretty quick. and they were able to get in the backfield to get Harris.
Tell you what, if it ever happens, I'll block for you. How's that? All right. 6:30 and counting here in the second quarter.
In high school and college, I definitely wasn't known for my blocking.
Out of the gun, and there's Fexo again drawing a Patriot.
Like that.
So tack on another 5 yards for Washington
And such
Lee.
a great weapon for the Generals tonight.
Well, as you see, a Washington Lee fan, let's go blue.
Passionate Washington Lee
Passionate,
fan.
but you know, this is what McBride was really good at all season long.
Mm-hmm.
Fexo's doing the same thing here as he hands the ball off. I believe that is DeQuay Harris. Tries to find that hole. He gets close to the 40-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards. Nice little pickup after he waited patiently there, Chris.
Definitely, because you can see the defensive end was waiting for him. And the defense of the Patriots, the defensive line was sitting there trying to push that play back inside, which they're taught to do. Don't let the guy get to the edge. They were pushing plays back inside. He planted his left foot, and then he was gone.
Took off. Big play there is DeQuay Harris. This time he loses it, loses the ball, and Yorktown says they've recovered. And they do. Another big turnover by the Washington Lee Generals. One on an interception. Now DeQuay Harris loses that one.
Here's a replay of Harris on that last play. You saw him playing his outside foot and just cut the football up and picking up positive yards. On that last play right there, you can see right here, he gets caught in the backfield. And we didn't see the beginning of that play in the replay, but it looked like there was a little bit of hesitation in the quarterback-running back exchange. Okay. There's a tad bit of confusion right there. Not sure if Harris even had secured the ball by the time the defensive hit him.
All right, Teen, he's going to keep it out of the gun. So why do you think there was that confusion? Was it based on the play where Harris was supposed to run, or was it Fexo turning around at the wrong time?
I don't think the quarterback turned the wrong way. I think what happens is a lot of times you're the running back. You're looking forward. Quarterback's back is to the line of scrimmage. I think Harris saw the defender break through the line of scrimmage, and he was going to try to break another way to get away from him. And it was just one of those things that happens.
Teen now to Parker Dean. It's complete. Gene Jones knocks him to the ground.
Great concentration by Dean on that time, holding on to the football. And one of the things that we just talked about this earlier, where Teen's really been successful has been rolling out. That time he dropped back, straight back out of the gun. He's not used to surveying the field.
Right.
And checking this receiver, that receiver, looking, reading the safety, reading the corner. And you saw the little hesitation there once again.
5 receivers for Charlie Teen. Looks over to the near side, and this one is complete again to Parker Dean. Enough for the first down. 4:21 to go.
But, Coach Hanson and the offensive coaches at Yorktown are seeing something, because that's 2 back-to-back plays we've seen Teen drop straight back, where we've seen him roll out earlier before. The last 2 rollouts he's kind of been stopped on.
Right.
So the Washington defense is dictating now what the Yorktown offense should do.
Teen to Dean the last 2 plays. Enough for the first down here. They're at the Washington Lee 39-yard line. 4 receivers this time for Teen, and he hands the ball off. And there's a fumble. Washington Lee says they recover, but the officials say it's down, I believe.
You definitely heard the whistle before the ball came out.
And you hear the boo birds just a little bit. Yeah, and I think, we don't have the advantage of instant replay, but I do believe that was a good call, the right call.
And that time we saw a little draw that time from the Patriots. They ran 2 drop back passes, and then the next play they run a draw. So it looks like they're trying to set something up here. Not sure what they're going to go for, but it looks like they're kind of setting something up.
See what they do.
Staying in the spread formation and then the shotgun.
All right, they picked up a couple yards off of that fumble. Teen, he's going to keep it. Crosses the 35-yard line. This will bring
Definitely
up
not
third
the
down.
swiftest of feet.
No.
Now, one of the things you got to think about here for the Patriots, almost 3 minutes left to go in the half. They got to control this ball for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah.
We know the Washington Lee offense is pretty explosive. Quarterback throwing for 1,800 yards this season, almost 1,900. So they got to hold on to the football here and try to get some points out of us. You can't get 2 takeaways and come up empty.
Right. All right, empty backfield. We've got 5 receivers for Charlie Teen. And there's a whistle. On 3rd and 6, by the way, ball at the 35.
This one's going to be against the offense.
Yeah. That's an illegal procedure. That's we've heard a few of those tonight.
And when you're in a 3rd and 5, which is manageable, that one's tough. The penalties are right now really hurting the Patriots tonight.
So now they move it back to the 40. 3rd down. It's really closer to 11.
If you're a member of the Yorktown offense, even the Yorktown defense and special teams, everybody has to do everything they can to help the quarterback out tonight.
Yes. Teen in the backfield by himself. He goes up to Parker Dean, and that is overthrown. And this will bring up 4th down and long. Teen rushed that one a little bit.
Rushed a little bit, but the coverage was definitely there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you throw that deep post like that, you have to throw it in a way that only the offensive receiver is going to catch it. If he's not going to catch it, nobody's going to catch it. The deep post is something you don't want to throw short, because when you throw it short, it's going to go the other way.
All right. Mehran Roshane now set to punt. Quinn Parks to receive. Roshane with a nice high punt. This one will go to the left side again and take a nice bounce just through the end zone. That was close, though, Chris. Yorktown had a shot there, dropping that ball inside the 5.
Great effort. Did a good job at getting the punt off. It looks like the Patriots are a little slow getting the punt off, but it's a great play. Ball bounces at the 10-yard line. We got to get him out to a couple of golf practices working on his backspin.
You're going to need something there. You're going to need him, Chris.
Yeah, he needs to put a little backspin on that one. Check it up a little bit.
All right. Fexo now with Harris in the backfield. There is the give to Harris. Harris will cut it back to the outside, turns the corner. Good job.
Way to run, man. Way to run.
Nice run by Harris. I thought he was going to be taken down for a couple.
Like he was going to be stopped for a loss, but he was able to bounce it out and get to the outside and get positive yardage out of it.
He did a really good job. They give that one. They credit him with 9 yards on that one. So second down.
And I think what's going to happen here, I think Coach Shapiro is waiting to get a 1st down back here before he calls a timeout.
All right, Fexo stays in the pocket. He's got a receiver, and this one's incomplete. So it'll bring up 3rd and 1 from their own 29, Washington Lee. The
minute 23 seconds left. It was a minute 59 when Washington Lee ran their first play. And one of the things you want to do, you got those 3 timeouts, but you don't want to waste them. You don't want to use them too fast. So what you want to do is get that first down. And then, okay, now we're moving. But you have to get that first one to get the second one and third one and so on and so on.
Well, let's see if they get that first down. And DeQuay Harris looks like he will be stopped short. A minute 10 to go, and now it's 4th and 1.
4th and 1.
With a timeout. Is there a timeout?
And it looks like it should be a timeout called by Yorktown.
Yep.
Now, you have to call that timeout.
You do. You have a shot here.
You have a shot. You got a great kicker. You got a quarterback right now who hasn't played much but hasn't made any mistakes.
Right.
He really hasn't made any mistakes so far. And you're getting the ball to start the second half. So if you're able to pull off something here, hey, you might be able to block the punt. Right. And then you're in great field position that you can score. But one of the things here that you have to be smart and use your head and don't jump off sides. We've seen that way too many times tonight. That if they jump off sides, this is a wasted timeout for the Patriots. And there's a great shot of Coach Shapiro out there talking to his special
Yeah.
teams unit. And I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Shapiro is telling him, hey, give him a hard count. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Stephen Do, the punter now. Let's see what he does.
Defense
Fourth
looked like
and
they're
one.
playing the fake here.
Yep. Low punt by Do, and it crosses the Yorktown. It goes back to the 40. And it rolls out of bounds at the Yorktown 37-yard line. Welcome back to our broadcast booth. Chris Williams, Afshin Banab. And it is a 7-3 game here in beautiful Arlington County. A nice
I think that
cold
punt
November
just
night.
rolled 20 yards.
I think so. At least.
Definitely a missed kick,
Yeah.
but a great benefit.
It
There
rolled.
was no returner back for the Patriots. Yorktown was definitely playing the fake right there. Hurts them, helps Washington Lee tremendously.
Yeah. Yorktown with a minute to go, a minute plus 1 second.
And two timeouts.
2 timeouts now, yes. Charlie Teen, and there is a flag again. So Washington Lee calls the timeout before the snap, Chris.
They definitely saw something there that they didn't like.
Yeah.
They were in a coverage and a defense that they really didn't like the matchup of what the offense was going to do against the defense, and the coaches quickly called a timeout just before the snap of the football. This seems like we're watching like a great game of human chess tonight.
It is.
You got two
Well, you got-
experienced coaches, two experienced coaching staffs. You know, you got schools 2.5 miles apart from each other. It's week 10 of the season. You got to think it's really week 16 because these kids have been out here since August 4th. So it's a lot going.
Yeah.
It's a lot going on tonight. It's rivalry game, county championship game. It's
Playoff atmosphere. Teen on the slant. This one is incomplete and almost intercepted. Ellis on the stop. 57 seconds left. Second down now. Ball at their
there's
own
Teen
37.
over talking with Coach Hansen to get the next play. And I think this is a great job by Bruce tonight. He has a quarterback who hasn't played quarterback, since his freshman year. And every play, come talk to me. You know, and it's really good. You get the extra coach, and it's a lot of what goes on in the NFL and the quarterback's ear, but we're seeing it right here, on the sideline tonight.
Teen, this one's complete on the far side. This will be enough for a first down. And that is Parker Dean. He has definitely been his go-to guy.
Yeah,
Charlie
he's been
Teen's
the go-to guy
Parker
for
Dean, but
McBride also.
Yeah, he has been.
Just a sure-handed receiver.
Yeah.
He's not going to drop too many balls. Actually, he's not going to drop any balls.
No, he
And he
won't.
runs good routes, and he's a true weapon for the Patriots.
All right, 50 seconds now. Teen, he's going up top. He's got him again. This one just a bit overthrown. I saw you cringe just a bit there, Chris.
Well, it's a good play call.
It was.
They just hit the guy. They just hit a pass on the stop, and then they come back and run the stop and go. Good pump fake by Teen. I'm really impressed by that move right there. He was able to get the pump fake and then get the pass out.
43 seconds left here in the first half.
And on first down, it's a great shot to take.
It is. Second down 10. Yorktown on their own 48-yard line. Dean comes all the way over here on the near side. Harris is on him, by the way. And Charlie Teen's going to roll out. And that one is complete. And that is Patton with the catch. 35 seconds left. Stephen Do stops Patton.
And that time we saw on the replay right here, we saw Teen roll out that time. I think he's a little bit better on the rollout than he is dropping straight back. And we saw the effective, it really puts a little pressure on the defense because you have to make sure, is he going to run the ball or is he going to pass the ball?
Right.
And I tell you, I'm really impressed with Teen tonight. I can't believe how much confidence Coach Hansen has in him.
Yeah.
When I talked to Bruce last night, I don't know. Coach, I'm going to play Teen at quarterback. The kid hasn't taken any snaps until this week. I'm just not sure how it's going to work out. Well, so far, it's working out pretty well for him. And if they're able to salvage something out of this drive right here, it's going to be a great momentum going into the locker room.
All right, Teen now going to have to salvage something out of this play. Throws it, incomplete.
And he had Patton. Patton opened up a little bit late for him. There's a lot of pressure on Teen that time. You see where he's not used to, because maybe he could have stopped right there and let the defender kind of run by him a little bit and kind of cut up inside of him. But instead, he chose to kind of keep going. And it seems like the ends for the Generals are doing a good job of slow playing them and forcing them to keep going outside.
2nd down, 10 now. Teen rolling back to the left again. This time he throws it up top. He's got a receiver, but this one's intercepted. Washington Lee. Gene Jones read that one. Gene Jones just was there, just standing there when he got that one. So Washington Lee will take over with 19 seconds left, deep in their own territory, though.
Jones kind of set him up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw the inexperience from the quarterback right there. He didn't see Jones. And Jones kind of sat back in the zone.
And just waited.
Kind of looked like, okay, I'm playing the guy on the inside, Now, granted, the pass was a little short. If the pass was on the outside, the receiver had a shot. But it was just the pass just didn't get there.
Yeah, there was a receiver there. DeQuay Harris. Up close to the 25-yard line. That may do it for the first half as we go count down from 5 now.
Looks like the Generals are content to go into the locker room on this one.
Yorktown will receive the second half kickoff. Patriots lead from War Memorial Stadium 7-3 over the Washington Lee Generals. You're watching high school football on Arlington Independent Media, Comcast 69, Fios 38. Senior night here at War Memorial Stadium. Back for the second half after this. Always a good game here between Yorktown and Washington Lee. This ball was picked up at the 15-yard line. Zane Kilgo.
And they have great field position here. It looks like they're going to start about the 26-yard line, so they have great field position to start this drive off. And one of the things that we talked about also at halftime is we're both kind of impressed with the confidence that that Coach Ainton is showing in Charlie Teen tonight at quarterback. Hasn't been afraid to, call.
No.
The playbook's been open tonight.
As you said, he talks to Hanson almost every play, or looks over there. So I think they have the confidence in each other, and he trusts. Right. So now he is under center here. 1st down, 10 for Yorktown. Teen. There is a pass, and that one is complete. And that is Sean Coleman, the big fella, 6 foot, 195-pound junior.
And what I like right there is the last pass that Teen threw before the half was an interception.
Right.
And what does Coach do? The first play, he gets back out on the field. Coach has him throw a pass. A nice, safe little short rollout pass.
But a pass.
But a pass.
Yeah.
To say, hey, look, we still got confidence here. And that's going to help the whole offense also.
This will be 2nd down. Ball at the 32-yard line. There's a handoff, and that one is Jack Storrs still on his feet. Mumbling, fumbling, stumbling right through it. Jack Storrs just carried himself. And a whole bunch of other players.
We see the replay coming up right here. And just watch Storrs. One tackle, 2 tackles, just bouncing off guys. Look, the human pinball.
Yeah.
Just bouncing off the bumpers there.
Jack Storrs, 5'11", 190 pounds. It's like as the game goes on, he gets better.
Right. He works up. You always talk about how the running back works up a lather, just gets going, and that's what he does.
All right, 11:20 to go. There is Mr. Storrs again, still on his feet, crosses midfield, close to Washington Lee 45-yard line.
And this is safe right here for Coach Anson. These are safe plays.
Yes.
Because he's putting the ball in the hands of his best runner, which is Jack Stewart, the leading rusher for the Patriots this season. And he's just saying, hey, big fella, go get me yards.
Well, he's listening. Official timeout right now on the field. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line. Coach Shapiro talking to the officials right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an equipment issue.
Yeah.
Should be rectified pretty quickly and get him back out there.
And here it is right now. And that is Coleman. Gets 2, maybe 3, close to the first down. Bit short, though.
And this almost mirrors the first drive that Yorktown came out with. They came out in their wing tees formations, and they just pounded the ball down the field. And then they snuck a pass out. But they pounded the ball, and then they snuck a pass down here, and Coleman goes in to score. So it's just
third down and 1 for
Yorktown. A lot of success in this tonight.
Yes. Stores. Good enough for a first down. Explain to our viewers the wing T formation.
Now, the wing T formation, the whole key to the wing T is the misdirection. There's a lot of guards pulling. There's a lot of play action off of it. It's all about the misdirection. You really don't know where the ball is going to go. It's Delaware made a killing running this offense for years.
Yeah.
For years.
Years
Bruce
ago.
Hanson and the coaching staff would go up to Delaware every year for their coaches clinic. And you can see Bruce ran this for like 25 years. He knows every wrinkle of
it. Delay of game on the offense with 9:47 to go.
It's a cold night.
It is a cold night, yes.
Hard to get some of these things out. But you see, these are things that are happening because that time it looks like the coaches probably saw something and they wanted to change the play. Now, Bruce can yell at to McBride, but no problem, and the play would be changed. But you have a kid playing tonight that not used to playing quarterback.
All right, Teen now. He's going to keep this one off the play action. Rolling, keeping it. Crosses the 35-yard line. Good run by Charlie Teen. Espinoza knocks him down.
And I've seen Teen play. This is the 9th time I've seen him play this season. And that's the fastest he's looked all year. I mean, but it was a great call.
Yeah.
He got the edge and saw, hey, there's yards in front of him.
There's green.
And the hardest thing to do a lot of times with young quarterbacks, they all want to stop and throw the ball. And that was a good job that time. He tucked it and went and picked up the first down.
So this will be at the 30-yard line, first down. There's an official timeout.
Official's timeout. The Washington Lee player down on the Yorktown sideline, and I don't think the referees saw it. As we see him jogging off right now. I mean, he was sitting over there. That was Jeffrey Kruger over there. He was, I don't think, nobody knew he was over there.
No, he's a senior. He's got about 3 or 4 schools he's deciding, I believe. UVA is one of them.
But with that break in the action, you saw the whole offense go over there to the numbers and talk to Coach Hanson.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a veteran coach just keeping control of what's happening on his offense tonight.
First and 10, ball on the 30, at the 30. And there's the fumble on the exchange, so 9.5 to go. This will bring up second down, 2-yard loss there.
And if you had a veteran quarterback back there, and this is week 10 of playing games, week 16 of the season, one of the things that you would say is there's no reason in the world to have the center, problems with the center quarterback exchange.
Right.
But I can't harp on enough. This is a kid who's not used to playing quarterback.
All right, Teen, he's being pressured from behind. He's got to get rid of it. Looking, he throws it across the middle. This one is going to be caught. No, incomplete. Calvert, I thought he had that coming down.
It looked like he had it. I don't know if we're going to get it on the replay, but it looks like maybe lost it when he hit the ground. It was, from our vantage point, it looked good at first.
Sure did.
And you saw a good job on Teen that time. He felt the pressure coming. You know, he felt the defender breathing on the back of his neck, so to say. You know, and he kept going, biding enough time to get the pass off.
Well, this will bring up 3rd down, 12. Ball at the 32-yard line. Empty backfield, receivers 2 on either side for Charlie Teen. He throws it across the middle. He's got a receiver. Dean, touchdown.
I'm impressed.
32 yards. Teen to Dean.
Sounds like a law firm, doesn't it?
It does.
And you saw a great job by Teen that time. Defense dictated. I thought he was going to run it, but then he was able to have the wherewithal to see Dean break late, and he delivered a perfect strike to him. And that's the effectiveness of him running the ball a few times on this drive. It put the defense in a hard place, whether they need to come try to get him or go cover the receiver.
There is the extra point, and there you see Chris Dean also keeping, or Teen keeping his head up, looking downfield at all times to get to his guy.
I mean, you can't help but be impressed. I mean, this is a kid that's a receiver.
Yeah.
Coach moves him to quarterback this week. As Bruce told me last night, he didn't take any snaps all year until this week, and that was a better move right there.
Yeah.
Stepped up in the pocket, had the threat to run the ball, put some pressure on the defense. You got to make a decision. You got to come get me. And as soon as the defender stepped up to come to Teen, he delivered a strike.
32-yard strike, 14-3, Yorktown on top with 8:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And that's what the Patriots needed coming out of the locker room. They needed to set the tone on this opening drive. Now the Generals have to answer. It's a little bit more pressure now when you're down 14-3, when you're down 11 points as opposed to down by 4. When you're down 4 points, you know you're 1 play away.
That's right.
You know, you're 1 play away. Now you're 2 plays away. So it's a little bit more pressure on the Generals now, but the Patriots just have to keep the pressure on.
All right, Russian A now set to kick off. Will Kelch deep to receive. There he is from the 1-yard line. On his feet to the 30. Will Kelch to the 35. 36-yard line possibly. It's 35-yard kick return.
And it's great field position for the Generals. Great return.
Yeah.
You know, great return by Kelch.
Blocking up front there too.
Just a great kickoff return all together for the Generals. You know, kind of silences some of that momentum that the Patriots had at the end of their drive. Now let's see if the Generals can get a little mo on their side and get this ball down the field.
All right, Blvd Aliyu, the receiver on the near side. Casey way over on the far side for Fexo. Quay Harris fakes to him. Fexo looking on the slant. This one is complete. That is Espinoza, crosses the 40-yard line before he's finally brought down by a host of Yorktown Patriots. Good fake on that play action. Good strike right up the middle.
Play action pass, delivered a strike. You see him right here, just delivered a strike and watch Espinoza at the end. Not going to be denied. I mean, he picked up 4 yards at the end on his own.
On his own, right.
Just not going to be denied. And that's what it's like when you're playing a rivalry game like this.
Yeah.
You keep your feet moving when those guys grab you, and you're not going to be denied.
Fexo to Harris. Breaks a couple tackles. Fumble. Yorktown says they have it, and they do. Patriots, big turnover by Washington Lee after a big play prior.
But you see, one of the things with Harris is we saw Espinoza do it at the end of his run, and now we saw Harris right here. Sometimes you gotta, as Kenny Rogers would say, you gotta know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And sometimes you just gotta say, okay, they got me. Let me go down. But it's really hard to do when you're playing in a game like this tonight, because when you're out the next day or something, one of your buddies is gonna be like, "Hey man, I got
That's
you
right.
on that play."
Whereas, like you said, live to play another day, right?
Yep.
Got to do it. Teen. This one's intercepted. Ball's loose again. See what the officials say. No. They're going to say he dropped the ball,
Incomplete.
which I think was a good call. He looked like he bobbled it.
Never really had possession of it.
Here it is, Chris.
You're watching the play right here. Ball's tipped in the air. Defender makes it. Never really had possession.
No.
Good call by the good call by the officials. I mean, we saw it right there in the replay. Never really had possession. And then there's always that, the thing that they always say on TV, did he make a football move?
Yeah, right.
He has to possess the ball and make a move.
Right.
I mean, they'll say even if he has possession, he has to do something to make it look like a football move.
All right, after that, almost interception. Here is Teen. He is by himself in the backfield. He's got receivers everywhere. He looks for one, and this one's incomplete. Zane Kilgo, the intended receiver on that one. 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Well, we've seen 2 plays on this drive already, and it looks like Coach Hanson he's ready to go for the juggler.
Yeah, he's got Teen back there by himself.
He's putting Teen back there by himself. They get the big turnover, and he's looking deep. Which a lot of times the first play off of the turnover, you want to go deep.
Right.
You got the momentum. Let's try to shock them. But then after that, you kind of want to settle down a little bit and settle into your offense.
All right, big play here for Yorktown, 3rd and 10. Again, Teen in the backfield by himself. He's going to roll. Looks to throw it back. He does, and this one's tipped away. Dangerous play there, Chris.
Waited too long.
Yeah.
Waited too long. Should have threw it the first time he looked back. He had stores open. Waited too long. He saw the defender and he just wasn't sure about making the play. You gotta make that play when you see it. You can't wait. When you run a play like that, which is like a little backside screen, you gotta throw it when you can. But now we've seen 3 turnovers and nothing off of them.
All right, Mehran Roshane has to kick this one on the run. That was a really high snap. Had to pick it up and roll to the far side.
But then you see the inexperience by Mehran. You can't punt that ball.
No.
You can't punt it. Just run, get all you can get. But you saw this is a kid this is his 2nd year playing football. He's a soccer player, and you saw the inexperience right there from the kicker. And now if you're the Generals, hey, we had a fumble. It didn't hurt us.
No.
Actually, we got we're pretty much at the same spot from where we fumbled the ball from.
And yeah, it's they've come full circle. Basically, 1st and 10, ball at the Yorktown 42-yard line. Harris stuffed, stopped hard. Stores running back on running back there. Big tackle.
And there's a prime example. We've seen it pretty much on both teams tonight. Even though both schools are 6A schools, they still have players going both ways.
Yeah, still do. 2nd down, fakes to Espinoza, throws it across the middle, and that one, I believe, is complete. And that was Casey. Man, that was a target.
You saw Casey climb the ladder a little bit. He's a big target to hit. We see in the replay right here. Just stops in the open spot of his own, climbs the ladder a little bit, makes a catch, bounces off a little bit. And now the Generals are in a Mansville 3rd and 2.
6:40 to go.
3rd and 2, 3rd and 1. Long 1, short 2 for the Generals.
Harris. Stores again stops Harris.
And what And what happened with that last drive by Yorktown? It's the third turnover from the Generals, and every time Yorktown's gotten the ball off for turnover, the drive has just stalled.
Yeah.
The drive's gone nowhere. So for the Generals, it's kind of like, okay, guys, if we make a mistake, they can't capitalize on it.
First down. Fexo across the middle. Oh, incomplete. That was the sure-handed Seneca Espinoza.
Right, see Espinoza wide open right there, and that's a concentration thing. I think he really kind of took his thoughts off the ball, eyes off the ball, looking around, see how much room he was going to have to run. Because I think he knew he was open.
Yeah.
He knew there's a safety back there somewhere. So it was one of those, I need to know how close he is. What do I have to do when I catch this football?
6:01
Most
to
importantly,
go.
you got to catch it first.
Espinoza intercepted. And this is going to be a Yorktown touchdown. Jack Stores again, and we have called his name more often than not.
He saw a little pressure on the quarterback that time. Rushed the pass, hit Stores right in between the 3 and the 0, and Stores knows what to do when he gets the football.
He does. 69-yard interception return.
Same thing Stores did in the game that we did against Wakefield.
Yeah.
He was able.
That's right, big play.
He scored a touchdown. On the following drive, he had a pick six, and here it is, another pick six for him.
That's true. This is my second pick six I've seen from one player this season. As Jack Stores and
with all his experience at running back, when he touches the ball, he knows what to do with it.
You talk about going for the jugular. He just did that. 20-3 with 5:47 to go. That interception from the 31-yard line, so a 69-yard pick six for the running back, Jack Stores of the Yorktown Patriots.
Great play.
Yeah.
Pressure on the quarterback, and one of those things that you always say, pressure bursts pipes. There's a little pressure right there. Fexo got the ball off a little bit quicker than he wanted to. And he hasn't really been harassed all night. And so that time they really got a guy in his face. He rushed the pass a little bit and just hit Stores right in between the numbers.
Now Washington Lee really has to get things going and start moving that ball offensively and get in the end zone.
If you're in the blue and gray, now's the time you have to rally. I'm really expecting to look down here and see Coach Shapiro just grab his troops and really rally the troops and say, let's go, guys, we got to go. I mean, now's the time.
There is Espinoza doing push-ups on the sideline, no doubt. He is upset because of that drop pass just before the interception.
But if you're watching Lee, you got to do something right now.
Right now's the time.
We're just over halfway through the third quarter. They really have to do something on this drive right here.
All right, Rochene set to kick off. And this one will go deep in the end zone.
And I think that's a product of he made a mistake last time.
I'm not going to do it again.
And let Kelch bring the ball out. And I'm pretty sure the coaches over there on the Yorktown sideline told him, make sure you put this ball in the end zone. Now, if you're watching Lee, that pressure is just kind of ramped up just a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think if you're Yorktown, hey, I'm playing with house money right now. I got a I got an 18-point lead with a backup quarterback.
DeQuay Harris, not much there.
And one of the things that Coach Hanson told me last night is that one of the things they really needed to do was key on the run and key on Harris and really not let Harris beat him. But then he was also worried about Kelch and Espinoza also. And they're doing a good job right now of containing Harris. Harris hasn't really broken that big one that you and I are used to seeing him do.
Yeah.
He really hasn't been able to break one yet.
Fake to Harris. Fexo. Wait, that was intended for Blvd.
And
No,
good
he
delivery.
hasn't.
We saw the replay
Come
right
on,
there.
Fed!
Just, great delivery. He put the ball, but the only person who was going to catch it was the defender. Now, the defender did have the receiver did have the defender beat, so if he was able to catch it in stride, it definitely would have been 6 points. But looks like the defense is starting to get a little bit of pressure on the quarterback now.
Third down. Fexo. He's got a receiver. This one incomplete to Espinoza. Flags on the play.
And I think they're going to call personal foul for hitting the defenseless receiver, which, to be honest, I don't like it when I see it on Saturdays.
Right.
I don't like it when I see it on Sundays, and I don't like it when I see it on Fridays.
No.
How can you tell a guy not to make that tackle?
Right. They're talking about it though, Chris. Let's see what they. Well, I guess they're going to go ahead and call it, and that's a personal foul. That'll be an automatic first down.
I mean, we're
going to
watch the replay right here. I mean, I can see. I don't think he took a shot at the kid's head.
No, he certainly didn't lead with his helmet.
No, he didn't lead with his helmet. Didn't take a shot at his. He looked like he hit him in the chest. But I tell you what happened on that play. They saw the kid's head snap back.
Right.
And immediately assume, okay, he hit him in the head.
Exactly.
But if we see what we just saw and what you guys can see at home,
Yeah.
it looks like he hit the kid in the chest.
We have to remember the officials are seeing this thing at lightning speed.
Exactly.
And
you're always going to err on the side of caution.
Yeah. So 4:56 after that penalty, a first down for the Generals. Fexo looking up top. He's got a receiver. This one incomplete. And that was intended for Henry Casey, the 6', 180-pound junior.
And good job by Denny. Parker Denny came over on defense that time, number 4 for the Patriots. He wasn't trying to knock the ball down.
No.
He was going for the pick.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like the receiver on that play. He was able to get 2 hands on it, just wasn't able to secure the catch. But a little bit aggressive. We're seeing some aggressiveness on the Yorktown defense now. And I think that's a product of they got the turnover on the last drive and they scored with the pick 6. And you see a little bit more aggressiveness from the guys in white on defense.
Yorktown's had 3 turnovers tonight. Fexo, low snap, gets it off to Harris. Harris crosses the 45-yard line. Got something out of nothing there.
Make something out of nothing. And when a play like that happens, it's just like running a draw.
It is.
I mean,
everybody is discombobulated.
It's just like calling a draw play. The Generals pick up a first down off of a fumbled snap just because it slows up the pursuit on the defense. And then before you know it, Harris just ran by everybody.
He ran by enough for a first down. 4.5 to go. 21-3. Yorktown on top here at War Memorial Stadium. Afshin Banab, Chris Williams, our high school game of the week. And, of course, always the big county rival between Yorktown and Washington Lee. Fexo looking over to his right. I believe that is Espinoza. It looks like he got stopped. Probably lost. And that is Stephen Dew, not number 6 Espinoza, but number 5 Stephen Dew, inside of 4 minutes. So there's a loss of 1 there. That was a dangerous play too, Chris.
Well, you got to remember, it was a lateral, so it was a backward pass. So if he drops that ball, that's a live.
It's live,
ball.
yeah.
And I think that like that pass right there, you're setting up the defense, and you want these guys coming forward. So that's a good time right there. You're going to see maybe see the fake of the screen and see the combination pattern going down the sideline.
Fexo, complete? No, incomplete. That was for Henry Casey, in and out of his hands. Had it as he was coming down, he got hit, lost it.
And that was Parker Denny once again, breaking up that pass.
3:28 to go. This will be third down, 12 now for the Generals at their own 45-yard line.
And we talk about how the Patriots haven't taken advantage of the turnovers, except for the 1 pick 6. If you're Washington Lee, you got to take advantage of getting that personal foul penalty. You got to take advantage. You got to get something out of this drive.
Let's see if they take advantage on this play. And that one's incomplete, and that was intended once again for Casey. So this will bring up 4th down.
And one of the things that we've seen from Fexel tonight, he's not afraid to put the ball in there.
No, not at all.
I mean, there's a lot of, Yorktown's trying to, play coverage. And they have almost like a nickel or a dime defense back there. And he's not afraid to hit his guys in space. And,
he zips it.
He's zipping it in there, and there is some traffic in there, and the guys are getting their hands on the football. They got to come up with it.
All right, big 4th down play now. Stephen Dew on the high snap to punt, and he loses it. Couldn't hold on to it. That was a bad snap. Could have been a lot worse. He was able to actually stop it from going over his head.
It was 4th down, so it was going to be, they were going to punt the ball, give the ball up anyway.
Right.
But yet, on a play like that, that's another turnover. It's fumble snap. Patriots came up with it in great field position.
So they are 1st and 10 now. The Patriots are at the Washington Lee 33-yard line. That's you can't ask for much better than that. Up 21-3 with 3:17 to go.
And if you're Yorktown, this is your chance. This is the chance right here where you got to go late we're still early in the second half. I mean, we still got over 15 minutes to play.
Yeah.
But you got to try to get something out of this one right here. That turnover is important.
Teen now he fumbles off of the snap.
And once again, it's a turnover, and it just seems like every time Yorktown gets a turnover, they can't get out of their own way.
So he loses 3 on that one. Move it back from the 33 to the 36-yard line. 2nd down, 13.
And if anything, you want to get some positive yardage here. So you want to make, if you don't get the touchdown, at least you're going to be in Miran's range to kick a field goal.
Teen with the fake, rolling out. Now he's got to go back the other way. Better hurry. Somehow he unloads on it, and it's complete to the far side. Well, you got something out of nothing there, Chris.
Wow.
Sean Coleman on the far side. Teen was good to go.
I mean, watch Teen right here. He's dropped back. He's in trouble. But look, he just stands tall and delivers a strike.
You gave me that. I don't believe that look.
I am. Charlie Teen last year played golf for me at Yorktown.
Yeah.
Took a year off from football. I just need a break from football. I'm not sure if I'm going to be a football player. Went back to football this year, and you can't say enough about his contributions.
That's right.
And he's playing big tonight.
I know that the leg work and the arm work in golf really helps him out in football.
Oh, definitely.
That's that throw.
Looks like we're having a little referee conference
yeah, they
over
are.
here. Looks like this ball may be coming back. I haven't seen a preliminary call yet.
The man in the white cap coming over to Coach Shapiro. Sorry, we don't have an officials list for you tonight. Now, I'm wondering, Chris, and you can answer this better than certainly that I would even know, but is there a quarterback in the grass play?
Not in high school.
Not in high school, okay. Not like college and NFL.
And we saw the referee come over and talk to Coach Shapiro. Now he's going back over to talk to Coach Hansen. We still have not seen any kind of preliminary call yet.
Man in the white cap. Still waiting for a signal. So we're going to replay.
And that was our referee, Mr. Ed Norwood. We still didn't get any kind of indication of what happened there. Definitely need to talk to the coaches after the game. They maybe try to figure out what happened on that one. And now Yorktown called a timeout. I think it was just all of the confusion of a no play, basically. But it's just surprising because they didn't come over and tell the clock operator to reset the clock. So I'm really curious as to what was the explanation down there to the coaches.
Huh.
But I think it's a good job. You know, you don't want to use your timeouts in the third quarter.
Right.
But I think in a situation that Yorktown's in tonight, I think that's a really good timeout that Bruce Hanson just called. Sell his troops down a little bit and just try to, like, okay, guys, let's get back under control here. Because this is really an important drive for Yorktown right here.
All right, that was a great play previously, though.
Yeah, I mean,
all right, 2:14 to go. Here we go. Teen under center, the give, I believe that is Stores. Crosses the 35 to about the 33-yard line. By the way, Ed Norwood, as you said, is our referee tonight. Mark Sigrada, the umpire. Linesman Gavin Latney. Rodney Rich, the line judge. Paul Ross, the back judge. And up here, Roberta Sigrada is our ECO.
Looks like Stores is able to get back to the original line of scrimmage this time. 3rd and 10 for the Patriots. If anything, you want to maybe get 5 more yards here, so you can definitely make it a little chip shot for Mehran Horashani.
All right. Looked like after the snap, after the exchange, Teen.
Trouble on the exchange.
Yeah.
Teen tripped. Late getting it back, tripped up, and it was the easy target for the defensive lineman.
So 4th down for W&L there, or for Yorktown at the W&L 38-yard line. Mehran Roshane now set to punt. Roshane being pressured, but he does get this kickoff, and it's a nice one that he got off into the end zone. And Washington Lee, with 49 seconds left, will take over at their own 20-yard line.
And the positive from that drive for the Patriots that they took about 3 minutes off the clock.
They did. They took quite a bit of time, yes.
I mean, they took about 2.5 minutes off the clock. That's the only positive right there. We got 49 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. But it's another turnover. I mean, they have to be kicking themselves tonight that they're not taking advantage of the opportunities that are given to them. And eventually, those opportunities are going to come back and bite them.
Fexo with the pump. He goes downfield and up for grabs, incomplete. Will Kelsch, the intended receiver, he had 2 Patriot defenders all over him on that play.
And Yorktown on defense, they're doing a good job of not getting beat deep. They're pretty much saying we're going to play coverage defense for you. We're going to give you anything underneath the short stuff, but you're not going to beat us deep. And when you're playing a team and a quarterback who has almost 1,900 yards passing, and you have these the receivers for Washington Lee are great. I mean, they're great deep threats, and Yorktown's doing a good job of not getting beat deep.
2nd down 10. Henry Casey just beyond his outstretched arms. 37 seconds left.
And that was good coverage once again by Parker Denny. Parker Denny's playing some great defense tonight. He's really kind of stalking out there in a safety position, and then he's been in the right place.
Said his name a few times tonight, no doubt about it.
He's doing a good job tonight.
3 receivers to the near side for Fexo. Henry Casey threw his hands. Gotta think he heard some footsteps there.
Definitely, he heard some footsteps, a little noise coming because he had his head on the swivel that time before the ball got there.
Yes. So this will be 4th down, and they'll have to punt. Parker Dean, the all dangerous Parker Dean, standing right around midfield.
And if you're the Generals, you can't keep having these 3 and outs. You got to get something positive going here because the momentum right now is all Yorktown. It's been all Yorktown since the beginning of this half.
Yeah.
This whole quarter's been all Yorktown. They've got to do something to get some positive momentum back on their side.
Dean moves back to about the 45-yard line. See if he has a chance here. He's going to take it at about the 47. Gets to midfield, and then he's finally taken down at the Washington Lee 45-yard line. A return of about 7, maybe 8 yards with 22 seconds to go in the 3rd.
And the reason you have a kid like Dean back there. He's sure-handed. He's a smart player. He's not going to make the wrong decision, and he's going to secure the football for you.
Definitely.
He's not going to let the ball drop and bounce around for a while. He's going to step up, secure the football for you, and get positive yards for you. And he's not going to give the ball up.
So the Patriots, another chance here with 22 seconds to go in the third. There's Stores, still on his feet. Crosses the 40. Good run by Jack Stores.
And
Ellis
if you're the
gets him
Patriots,
down.
you make that the last play of this half. You don't run another play. And it looks like coach is going to tell his guys, let's just take a break, walk to the other side of the field. You see the guys in white put their 4 fingers up because they know it's the fourth quarter. Actually, they're doing it on both sidelines. And this is where, this game's going to be won or lost right now. It's in the fourth quarter. You got 12 minutes of football to play.
That's right.
This is you're playing a rivalry game. You got 12 minutes to make it happen right here.
So we move to the fourth quarter, 21-3. Washington Lee down to Yorktown at home at War Memorial Stadium. Jack Stores on a good run there. We'll see how they open up the fourth quarter, Chris. Gotta like the way he's been running.
He's been running great. He's been running great all year for Yorktown. I'm still a bit surprised that we've seen Tavon Brown on defense.
Yeah.
We have not seen him on offense tonight. I don't know if he's fallen out of favor with the coaches this week. I don't know if he's nicked up and the coaches are thinking, hey, let's play him on defense, don't play him on offense. Let's get him, there's a playoff game next week for both of these teams.
That's right.
I mean, it's not like either team is playing to get into the game.
No.
This game really is not going to affect their seeding much. So it's just a matter of, maybe there's, let's save them for next week.
There's Stores. He spins around. Gets to about the 34-yard line.
You don't expect when you see Stores.
Yeah.
I mean, Stores is just that burly, bruising back, but when he does that spin move in there, it's just like
It's a little surprising.
It's a little surprising. Very impressive, though.
Yeah, it may have caught some of the Washington Lee Generals off guard there. It picked him up a couple extra yards.
Picked up the first down.
That's right. Picked up the first down. 1st and 10, ball at the 34-yard line. Again, there he is.
Stewart again, the ball carrier. Tackle made, number 77, Juwan Hernandez.
Hernandez stops Stores.
And one of the things that what makes Stores so effective is once you get in the fourth quarter and you get a kid like Stores just pounding into the offensive line and pounding into the defense, he's really, they're wearing these guys down.
Right. He doesn't get tired. He's not the one that's going to be tired.
He's playing both ways. He doesn't get tired. I mean, he's going to go for you all night. But that constant pounding, and a lot of these guys, he's bigger than. So, I mean, he just pounded on these guys. Eventually, he breaks it.
All right, team now. Intended for Sean Coleman. Flags all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pass interference.
Yeah.
Didn't really touch him, but he's going to get caught pretty much for face guarding.
Yes.
I mean, if he would have turned his head around to look at the football, he wouldn't have been called on that. He wouldn't have been called for it. But because he wasn't looking for the football,
right?
Because he wasn't looking for the football, he's going to get called for that pass interference.
Right, and that's a common. That's something that's taught at all levels too, because I mean they tell you the same thing at the pro level, the college level. Turn around and look for the football.
Yeah.
If you see that receiver looking for it, you should turn around and look for it.
Right.
All right, 10:52 to go, 21-3. So nice pick up on that penalty.
They get the first down inside the red zone.
All right, Stores, touchdown.
Yorktown.
There you go.
And that's one of the things right here that we just talked about. He pounds it, and then before you know it, he bounces to the outside, and he went in there that time pretty much untouched. Great play call. Coming off of the penalty.
Now there is a penalty marker after the play. And that's a personal foul, and that'll be against Washington Lee.
And that one will most likely be assessed off of the kickoff.
Yeah.
So you're going to give Mayron 15 more yards.
He doesn't need it, though.
He might put this one on Washington Boulevard.
Number 9, Myron Rochene out to attempt the point after.
All right, Rochene now for the point after.
They receive a personal foul being called again.
Yeah.
Run, there's a personal foul called on Washington Lee. That penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff.
Let's see if Mayron can hit the school.
Knock out a window, right? He certainly got it way out. And, of course, it was good.
10:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Yorktown 28.
Patriots in complete control right now with 10:45 to go in the fourth quarter.
The second half has pretty much been all Yorktown.
It has.
I mean, this is not the game that you and I were expecting tonight.
No.
I really expected the Yorktown offense to struggle without McBride at the helm. But the Yorktown coaching staff, Coach Hansen, has done a really good job of managing Charlie Teen at quarterback and kind of managing the offense. And they've been able to take advantage of not all their opportunities, but they have been able to take advantage of what the defense has been
That's
giving
right.
them.
The opportunities that they have not taken advantage of mostly are the turnovers
Right.
that they've recovered. And they've let Charlie Teen, they've mixed it up a little with him.
Right.
They weren't, Coach Hansen's not afraid to let him roll out, let him pass from the pocket. He's let him do this.
And we've seen
Shows a lot
some
of trust and
big-time
confidence.
scoring out of this Washington Lee defense. I'm really Washington Lee offense. I'm really surprised to see them being held to 3 points for 3 quarters tonight.
Yeah, certainly the defense has done a really good job. Played tight up front, pressured Fexo when need be, when they needed to. And I'll tell you one thing that Yorktown's doing on defense in the secondary. They're hitting hard, hitting those receivers hard.
They're being aggressive.
Yeah.
I mean, it was almost after they got that touchdown to go up 21-3. It changed everything on defense.
The whole complexion.
It changed the whole complexion, and this has just been a different half.
All right. So Mehran Rochene now will kick from the Washington Lee 45-yard line.
Great situation for an onside kick.
It is. I want to see him put it through the uprights. And I think he did.
He did. Nailed it right through the uprights, almost into the student section of the Generals.
All right, so Washington Lee will take over 1st and 20, or 1st and 10 rather, from their own 20-yard line.
And what's happened in this half, Yorktown has really taken all the air out of this Washington Lee crowd.
Oh yeah,
It's senior
can.
night. It's
Yeah.
rivalry game. This is big time football tonight in Arlington County, and they've just really taken all the air
They have.
out of the bubble for the Generals.
It's so quiet we can hear the conversation from the fans right in front of us outside the press box.
It's a little weird.
Small talk that they, yeah.
Penalty marker before the snap.
All right, penalty markers down now.
Encroachment once again by the defense, and you just can't have it. I mean, that's something that as the Patriots get ready for the playoffs next week, that's something that they're definitely going to have to clean up because it's too many times tonight.
All right, out of the gun, Fexo. Harris picks it up. It's up to about the 31-yard line. Stores
He's going to
trips him
pick
up.
up the first down, but I've just been sitting here waiting for Harris to break one.
Yeah.
Because you know he's going to break one. You know he's going to
Eventually.
And and Yorktown's doing a great job of containing him. I mean, that's, like I said, I talked to the coaches last night, both coaches, and Coach Hansen just harped on he had to control Harris.
Looks like Fexo has just come out and Stephen Dew now in at quarterback for Washington Lee. There's a mishap on the exchange between Dew and Harris. And Yorktown picks up this now, turnover.
You know, and taking Fexo out of the game is not it's probably not a bad decision.
No.
You know, I mean, it's not much going to happen with him right now tonight. Let's just get him out of the game, make sure nothing gets hurt. You know, he doesn't get hurt. You know, unfortunately, you know, he is a senior. You know,
Yes.
this isn't. He played behind a great quarterback in Appel.
Yeah.
Finally gets his chance, and you know, it's take him out of the game. Let's look for another day. We got a playoff game next week.
All right, Stores to
But
the
I think on
25.
this drive right here, we're probably going to see another heavy dose of Stores, Coleman. You know, we're going to see those guys touch the ball in this drive right here. I would be very surprised if we see the ball up in the air again for the Patriots.
Right, with 9:50 to go, Stores 3 yards on the carry.
Second down, Washington Lee 25.
Those would be 2nd and 7 at the 25-yard line. Teen under center. He's got 2 receivers on the far side. There is the pitch out. Tavon Brown.
That's the first time we've seen Tavon Brown all night.
Big number 7. Sorlizano brings him down. But yeah, that is the first time we've seen him offensively
Right.
the whole night at the 9:35 mark. Coming up on 9 minutes here in the 4th quarter.
You know, the 2 running backs for the Patriots, you got Stores. Stores is like your Jeep, you know, like your Ford Expedition. You know, and then you got Brown, who's a little bit more shifty, a little more speedy. You know, that's like your sports car. And it looks like Coach Anson's been keeping his sports car in the garage all night.
Yeah.
You know, all right.
Oh, here is that sports car. He's going to reverse it and come back the other way on the near side. He picks up a little bit and before he's finally pushed out of bounds. Gene Jones does push him out there at the end.
Right, here's some whistles out there. I think there's going to be a flag on this play. See the referees talking.
Yeah.
Might be holding against the Patriots.
There you go. Good eye, Mr. Williams.
Against Yorktown.
Typically happens on a play like that when
It
you
does.
see the running back cut, reverse his field, and go kind of go against the grain of where all the linemen are flowing. You're typically going to have that holding because it puts the lineman in a really tough position as they're blocking one
Certainly,
way, then the running back goes the other.
Yeah, it certainly does. 8:27 to go, 28-3. Patriots on top with the ball. And as you said, pretty much in control for most of this, or really for all of the second half.
Right.
All right, Teen now out of the gun. Back there by himself. He better get rid of it. Taken down hard. He doesn't get rid of it. Orantes. Mr.
once
Diego
again, that's
Orantes
okay.
with a hard hit.
That's okay.
That's okay, yeah.
He didn't make the mistake. He didn't throw the ball away. He didn't throw an interception. He didn't fumble. Hey, you lost some yards here, but you know what? That's okay.
That's all right because
You kept possession of the football.
that's right.
And
And Mehran Roshane is about to
right.
punt.
And the clock is still running.
Yep. Roshane with pressure on him. He got it off though. This ball will take a nice little bounce as it goes towards the sidelines.
Now that time he had that little backup on the ball,
Yeah.
but it would be great if it was at the goal line and backed up like that.
You need another 10 or 15 yards,
Right,
right?
you need 10, 15 yards to pull the string back on that one.
Well, you know, he should take up some golf under your tutelage because that's what happens in golf, right?
We're going to have to work on that.
You get those.
Unfortunately, golf and
get
football
that
is
ball-
during the same season.
Get that ball just past the hole.
Exactly.
10,
then you
15
pull the
yards,
string
just
on it,
pull
man.
it back,
Just like,
yeah.
It's just like the yo-yo.
All right, Stephen Dew. That one,
No, that was Fexo back in the game at quarterback.
is he in back? Okay.
Yep, he's back at quarterback.
All right, Fexo.
So I don't know if on the last drive if they, if he was injured,
Right.
if there was an equipment issue, or maybe, Coach Shapiro decided, hey, let's put him back in there. This is one of those nights when you're a senior, it's senior night, and you're at home playing against your crosstown rival. You don't want Coach to take you out of the game.
No way.
Harris, the ball carrier.
All right, DeQuay Harris off the draw.
Just not much there. I mean, there hasn't been much on the ground for the Generals all night tonight. And for that matter, hasn't been much in the air either.
That's true. This will bring up 3rd and 7. Saulnier, by the way, on that stop. So 3rd down 7 now for the Generals. Ball at the 27-yard line. Fexo looking. This one almost intercepted in the direction of Seneca Espinoza. Coleman right there to knock it down.
And that would Coleman break in and knock that pass down, and when he missed the interception, he just kind of pumped his fist at himself because he knew
had he gotten it,
that was another pick six.
That was a pick six too.
We see another two-way player for the Patriots, Coleman, who's been running the ball a few times tonight, has caught a couple passes. I mean, you see these guys, him, Stores, Brown, they're really being effective on defense also, as well as offense.
Flag.
Penalty marker on the play. Dead ball.
Illegal substitution against Washington Lee.
A lot of times what happens there is that you can only have 11 guys in the huddle. And a lot of times a guy gets in the huddle, may not get out before another guy gets in. Didn't see what happened there, but.
There's that fake punt. Now he's going to unload it to number 1, Blvd Aliyu, and it was well overthrown.
You see Coach Shapiro out there going after the referee a little bit, looking for pass interference call, but there's nothing there.
No.
And you saw the referee just signal to him. There's no, ball was too far. There's
no pass interference.
There's no pass interference. He couldn't catch that ball.
Uncatchable.
I mean, that pass was 20 yards past the receiver that time.
So 6:53 to go. Yorktown on top, in control, 28-3. And again with the ball. And they have it at the Washington Lee 22-yard line. WNL calls now a timeout. This is going to be good for Yorktown leading into the playoffs next week, no matter who they play. They most likely will play on the road.
Right, looks like they should be on the road against Hayfield next week. And end the game earlier this season at Hayfield. They played at Hayfield for their homecoming. Played really tight for 3 quarters. And then fourth quarter they started getting behind. And I think it was one of those games they came out running the wing tee for 3 quarters of the game. Game's tight, a low scoring game. They're in the ball game. And then Hayfield broke 2 plays before they're down by 2 touchdowns. And they had to come out of that clock control, ball control offense and spread it out and start pitching it around the ball, around the field all night. And it was a rainy night. It's the first game that they had played on grass all season.
This is true. I did hear that, yeah.
One of the things that when I was talking to Coach Hansen, he's like, it's the only game they played on grass all season.
Makes a difference, doesn't it, nowadays?
Especially when you're on grass in the rain.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I know AIM did a playoff game down at Washington Lee playoff game down at Hayfield, but one of the things about the Hayfield and grass fields is that most grass fields have a crown on them.
Yeah.
Where the middle of the field is going to be higher than the sides of the field.
Mm-hmm.
And helps with the drainage, helps control the grass and things like that. But you don't have that on these new turf fields, on these new synthetic fields. You don't have that. When you get on a grass field like that, and it's a pretty good pronounced crown at Hayfield.
That is Brown, and he is stuffed. Coming up on 6 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
But you know, you see Brown gets hammered in the backfield.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, it's okay.
It is okay.
If you're Yorktown at this point, there's no need to score.
No.
There's no need to, because scoring here, you're running up and score.
Right, and you know the Yorktown staff is not like that anyway.
Right,
We all
not
do
at
know
all.
that. No.
And you got the game in hand, game's under control. The biggest thing you want to do now is just get out of here with nobody getting hurt. Both schools are at that point right now.
Yeah, let's not forget Washington Lee also in the playoffs. And that is Tavon Brown. So the
AC
Generals
Brown
also,
once
by the
again.
way, in the playoffs. So,
Right.
you know, they don't want anybody hurt either.
Right, exactly. And you see, you know, that's why we did see Fexo come out for a series
Yeah.
late here in the game. If you're Washington Lead now, it's pride. We got to get one more score here.
Right.
We can't go out losing 28-3. It's a pride factor here now for the Generals. At least try to get one more. And then one of the things we see right here, we see it's 4th and 13, and typically this would be a situation where we see Rashani and the punt.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Teen to Dean, incomplete.
But you know,
4:35 to go as there is now a turnover on down, so Washington Lee will take over at the 25-yard line.
at this point, you're just going to control you guys, control the emotions on both sides of the field. Guys, don't do anything stupid to get yourself kicked out of this game, and you won't be able to play next week in the playoff game. So both coaches, I'm pretty sure, all the coaches on both sides of the field are saying, guys, use your head, be smart.
Right.
I know it's a rival game. Don't take a cheap shot. Don't do something stupid that's going to get you kicked out of this game.
Harris, the ball carrier, inside of 4.5 now.
And then also at this point, you run your base stuff. If you're Washington Lee, you're hoping to try to get a score. If you're Yorktown, just run your base stuff. Don't put something else on tape that, you know,
somebody
next
can
week's
see.
Opponent can be able to key off of. At this point, you just kind of go vanilla. You know, it's almost like the preseason games in the NFL. Nothing's shown in that preseason, the first preseason game. I mean, they're running plays that these, the players ran in Pop Warner.
Yeah. See, there was movement on the line as you get the call there. And that's against W&L. I can only imagine, though, Coach Shapiro is not going to have a hard time getting his boys ready for their playoff game.
No.
Even coming off this loss, you know what? We got a way more important game now.
And it's going to leave a little bitter taste in their mouth.
For a day. Yeah.
Because when you go to these two schools, what you do when the football schedule comes out, the first thing you check homecoming.
That's right.
Because then you got to know how much time you got to get a date. And then after that, you're checking. You go to the bottom of the page and look for that last game. What's the date of that game?
What's the date?
And the thing about it is that game means so much, not only to the kids out there playing, but this whole community.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, these schools are 2.5 miles away from each other. If you walk out here and tonight in this crowd, you'll see guys that went to Washington Lee and Yorktown in the 60s and the 70s. They may only go to one football game a year.
This one.
But this is the game that they're going to go to. This is the game that these guys are going to come to because this is the game.
Yeah. Fexo going deep. Good tipped away. Tavon Brown with good defense there.
Brown's
staying with Kelch.
Great defense tonight, staying with Kelch. I mean, I can't say enough of what the defensive backs for Yorktown are doing tonight. I mean, because Fexo's delivering the ball.
Yes, he is.
I mean, and he's delivering the ball, and they're doing a great job of just breaking up these passes.
There's Mr. Brown. What can he do for you? He just broke up that pass. Fexo This one is going to be thrown away. Intended for Kelch. But, yeah, you got to love – that's the one thing I love about high school football, getting back to what you said a couple plays ago, the tradition, the rivalries, how some of these players, still keep in touch.
Yeah.
20, 30, 40 years later, they come to these games, and there is one game you go to. It is Washington Lee versus Yorktown. It is
and
Gonzaga versus DeMatha,
And that's not to single Wakefield out. I mean, Wakefield.
No.
We don't single Wakefield out here, but these two schools, they're 2.5 miles apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never said that a few times tonight. and they've been in the same district with each other forever. They've always been together.
Right.
And it just means a lot.
All right, Stephen Dewey's going to keep it. Ball's loose.
Stephen Dew, the ball carriers, fumble on the play.
Another turnover recovered
Yes, it
by
is.
the Patriots.
It is. And Wakefield does have that. I mean, obviously the county rivalries, but Wakefield has that in another rival, and that is a school that's probably less than 2 miles away, and that's Stewart, and they're just over the Fairfax line. So, they do have that going with Stewart as well as their own county rivals right here. But I understand exactly what you mean about these two teams when they play. And we need to have like a Bell or a Paul Bunyan Max or something.
I mean, we've talked about it. Every time I do this game with you, it's like when GW was in Alexandria before they built TC.
Yeah.
And Washington Lee was the only high school in Arlington. The two of them played each other for the Oaken Bucket.
That's right.
If you walked in the hall here at Washington Lee and the trophy cases, you see the Oaken buckets. You see the years and the scores and everything. I mean, that was before my time, pretty much. And these kids out here have no clue.
No clue.
But there definitely needs to be something that we can come up with that these kids are playing for.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll just add a little bit more to it.
It would add to this game tonight. No doubt.
And I think also that the fact that Washington Lee has beat Yorktown twice within the last 4 years, I think that says something. I mean, the rivalry had been one-sided for a long time. I mean, it's, to Yorktown, the bigger rivalries had been Hayfield and Edison over the years.
Yes.
Before Hayfield moved into the National District, it was Edison. And then Hayfield moved in, and Hayfield and Yorktown became that was the big game for Yorktown. Now, Yorktown was still the big game for Washington Lee, but the series had been really one-sided. And I think the win in the playoffs at Yorktown.
Yeah.
And
at
then
Yorktown, right.
the win last year at Yorktown to win the district.
That's right.
I think that added a little, something back.
It does add something to this series, to that streak. But Hanson has never lost to Washington Lee at War Memorial Stadium.
Correct.
Now, isn't that something?
And if you remember in the playoff game a couple of years ago, they beat them here like 7-6, very low-scoring game, and then came back and lost to them in the playoffs.
There's Tavon Brown on the loose. What can he do for you? He's going to score a touchdown, Yorktown.
But there's a flag on the play at the line of scrimmage. And I think this one's coming back.
That's right. We covered that game. It is holding on the offense. We covered that game that said that narrow margin of victory right here.
Right.
And then before they went back to Yorktown.
And then if you think about it, the next week when you were at Yorktown and we were talking before the game, and I told you, don't feel good about it.
You did say that.
There's no buzz about it. Talking to Bruce is like, it's hard. It's W&L week.
Right.
How do you do that twice?
Yeah. You've already spent your energy the week before.
But losing that game, losing the last game of the season here, was all the momentum in the world for the Generals.
Yeah.
And you saw it. It was night and day. They were a different team in that playoff game than they were the week before in the last game of the regular season.
Yep. Here is Teen. he will keep it. And he is hit and knocks out, gets out of bounds. A minute 48.
And that's a lack of experience right there,
Yeah.
because you just go down. Keep that clock running.
Yep. Out of bounds, so the clock does stop. Now your job, Mr. Christopher Williams, is to figure out what kind of trophy we can have for a game like this every single year. Michigan, Minnesota has a little brown jug. You got the bell down in the SEC. Got to think of something.
I will say that I think that there's a lot of people out there who, I think that's a decision that's probably above my pay grade. Yeah, there's some people out there with business cards a little bit bigger than mine.
Big print.
Right, who can make that decision.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to know what you think of it. You got to think about it and let me know sometime. I'm sure there's something that you could come up with.
One of the things that there's a trophy that we have for boys soccer. There's a nice trophy that we have for golf.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there needs to be something. I agree with you. There needs to be something. We need to come up with something creative that we can come out with. And, I mean, I think it'll add a little something to these games. Just add a little more spice to them.
I think it would, too. I definitely agree. All right, Fexo now. This one incomplete. I'll tell you one thing about Mr. Fexo. That boy can zip it.
Yeah,
he can zip that ball.
And he's not afraid to deliver it. It's going to be a flag on this play at the line of scrimmage.
How do you see a rematch with Hayfield? This goes against WNL in the first round.
It all depends for Yorktown. I think a lot of it's going to do with their status at quarterback. And McBride's able to come out and compete, and at what level he will be able to compete. I think they did a good job of kind of containing Hayfield for 3 quarters last time. But when it's playoff time and you're at that point where you're one and done, stranger things have happened.
Yeah. Now, do you think this also plays into the reasoning that Tavon Brown wasn't running the ball tonight?
I mean, I think it may.
He wants to save him for the offense next week?
I think it may, but I also, by the same token, I was surprised that Storrs was still taking the ball late in the fourth quarter also.
Yeah.
It's at that point that if we were playing on grass, you would see the guys with clean jerseys in at this point.
Right.
But that's really hard to do when you're in this rivalry game. And when you have a group of seniors that this is the last time they're going to play in this game, it's hard to take these guys out.
Right.
I mean, I never forget when I played for Coach Hanson, when we got to this game, I'm not coming out.
No.
Coach, you can't take me out.
You're just going to sit at the 50-yard line and not. You're going to make them force you.
You're begging and pleading, don't take me out.
There's DeQuay Harris on the screen. It's the first time we've seen him catch a pass tonight with 40 seconds to go. Gets to the WNL 36, still well short of the first down.
That might be Harris's longest play from scrimmage.
It may be, and that was a pass play, yeah.
Maybe because I think he may have had one for 16 yards maybe, but I think that's it's definitely his longest play this half.
Ball on the 35. It's 4th and 5 inside of 20 seconds as we close out this Arlington County rivalry between Yorktown and Washington Lee. That one's incomplete. 11 ticks on the clock.
And that was Coleman once again with his second chance. Turnover and downs. And if anything happens right here, I would be shocked if we see the Patriots in anything other than the victory formation.
And I think that's what we will say. Let me have a chance, Chris, to thank the principals of all 3 high schools, the public high schools, Greg Robinson, Raymond Passy, Dr. Christian Wilmore, all of them doctors, by the way, at WNL, Yorktown, and Wakefield, respectively. The ADs, Carol Calloway, Mike Krufeld, and Noel Deskins from WNL, Yorktown, and Wakefield, respectively. And most of all, me personally, I want to thank you and Matt Norris over here and Frank Haddock. You guys are great, and you guys are always, you treat us warmly when we come into a press box, and then you see that victory formation. And you always give us anything we need, any information. You guys help us out the best way possible, and I know I really appreciate that.
And we just saw Coach Hanson get the Gatorade bath
Yeah.
And if you guys don't, and if people don't think that this game doesn't mean anything, you see it right there.
There it
You
is.
see Coach Shapiro, the class act that he is.
Yeah.
He's the first guy over there congratulating the Yorktown
That's
players.
right. That's right.
I mean, he's there before his guys. They're all lined up on his team. He's the first guy over there, congratulating the players, congratulating the coaches.
It's the ultimate sign of appreciation and respect between two coaches. One who's been here now 8 years, and then Coach Hansen over there, and Wayne and Hogwood over at Wakefield. There's this really, Arlington is lucky to have 3 really good high school coaches.
One of the things I said to you, that one of the things that we have to do, we have to get in the studio and sit down with all three of these, with all 3 of these coaches. I think it's must-see TV.
I will promise you that I'm going to work on that and have all 3 of these guys in there. And I'd like to get all 3 of you guys in there, you, Frank, and Matt, in the studio
I'd love
one
to do
night
it.
too. And that would be great. But thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
And good luck to all 3 schools as they make the playoffs. Wakefield, Washington Lee, and your Yorktown Patriots, and much success to them all. Good luck to all 3 schools. I'd love to see these guys make a nice little run out of it.
It's great for Arlington High School football that all 3 of them are going to the playoffs.
Absolutely. So for Chris Williams and the rest of the Arlington Independent Media crew, Washington Lee loses at home the final game of the series, the final game of the Arlington County regular season matchup in 2014. They lose to Yorktown 28-3. I am Afshin Banab. Good luck in the playoffs, fellas. We will see you next year. Hopefully we'll cover a playoff game. We may try to do that. But other than that, we'll see you next year on Arlington Independent Media.
Uh-oh.